As soon as she bends down to pick up her pen, we see something zooming in super fast and slicing those two buses right in half, splitting all the girls into two groups. Then, when Mitsuko stands back up, she's totally shocked, wondering what just happened. Since she had bent down to grab her pen, she somehow managed to avoid getting hit. Seeing this, she gets really scared and jumps off the bus, running away. Here, we find out that the thing cutting through everything wasn't anything else. It was just the wind. The wind that was cutting everyone now starts chasing Mitsuko too. Seeing this, Mitsu yells and starts running really fast. While running, she sees four more girls ahead and tells them to duck, but it's already too late. The wind cuts through them halfway. Mitsu manages to save one of the girls, and just then, they spot some girls cycling nearby, heading somewhere. Mitsu tries to save them too, but the wind does the same thing to them as it did to the others. Mitsuko was with her friends, and during that time, the girl she had just saved from that invisible thing gets hit again. Seeing this, she gets really scared and starts running around. Next, we see Mitsuko near a river, where she's shocked to find lots of dead bodies already lying there. Bodies that the wind or that invisible thing had torn apart. She takes clothes from one of the dead bodies and changes. In the next scene, we see Mitsuko walking and arriving at a school where there are a bunch of other female students. Her uniform was totally different from Mitsuko's, like she wasn't even a student at their school. Then this girl comes up to Mitsuko and starts asking how she's doing. Actually, that girl was her best friend, but Mitsuko asks her if she's really her best friend because she had no idea what was going on. She was pretty shocked. Here, we also find out that Mitsu and her best friend love each other a lot, and right then,
A strong wind was blowing, and Mitsu got scared and went inside the building. Her best friend didn't understand what was going on at all. She started asking Mitsu why she was shaking so much and why she was so scared. Then Mitsu told her everything, how a gust of wind came and cut all the students at their school. Hearing this, her friend took her to the window, stuck her hand outside, and said, "Look, it's just the wind, nothing more." At that moment, Mitsu felt. She starts feeling a bit calm and thinks maybe this is all just a dream. Then Mitsuko's best friend brings along two more friends, and they plan to skip class. Just as the four of them are about to leave the classroom, their teacher shows up and spots them. But they all run away. While running, they end up by a lake. There, Mitsuko's best friend tells the other two about her dream. Then one of the girls she says, maybe it's true, like a mirror world where everything is the opposite of this world. Then she throws a stone into the pond and says, "See, I threw a stone here, but maybe in the other world, I didn't." Suddenly, a crocodile comes out of the pond and grabs a girl. Then the girl says, "See, I told you, what happens in this world doesn't happen in that world, and what happens in that world doesn't happen here." No way, so in that world, a crocodile has eaten it too. But look here, this one is totally safe. Near the same lake, there's a bed visible. These four girls start picking up pillows from the bed to play with, when suddenly, from a distance, we see two girls watching them. One of those girls is dressed like a bride because these two girls are married to each other. Then one of the friends says that we have to do something that's impossible in that world because our fate is already written. But we can change it so that all the girls come back to their school and head to class for the next lecture. Just then, Mitsu notices a pillow lying around. As she bends down to pick it up, her teacher suddenly starts firing a gun inside the classroom. When Mitsu lifts the pillow and looks up, she sees that all the other girls in the class have been shot. Once again, she manages to survive, just like last time in her dreams. Mitsu's teacher comes up to her and says, How did you get the nerve to shut down this class? You're as good as dead." Just then, two more girls show up and try to save Mitsuko, helping her make a run for it.
but another teacher comes in and kills both of them. The students who manage to survive start running out with Mitsuko, but all the teachers at the school open fire on them. As the girls rush outside during the shooting, the wind cuts through them. Now, Mitsuko is left all alone once again. She leaves and runs through the crowded area to the police station. Once there, she starts telling everything. After hearing her out, the policewoman says, "But you're not wearing your school uniform." Then she puts a mirror in front of her, and Mitsu looks at her reflection. She's completely changed, and people aren't calling her Mitsuko anymore. They're using a different name. That's when we find out she was about to get married. The same police officer then takes her to her wedding, and the people around watch as this happens. They were congratulating her, and just as they all took her to the church, Mitsuko's best friend was there too. Mitsuko asked her, "What's happening to me?" Her friend told her to stay quiet because they were under someone's control. She said, "Just do exactly as I say." Then she helped her put on her wedding dress and told her to go inside. As she walked towards her wedding ceremony, all the girls there started making fun of her. Seeing this, her best friend began taking down each one of them one by one. After that, as Mitsu moves forward, instead of her groom, she sees a coffin standing there. When the coffin is opened, a big pig comes out. Seeing it, Mitsu gets really scared and attacks it with a broken bottle. After that, Mitsu and her best friend run out of the church. At the gate, two girls try to stop them, but Mitsu's best friend fights them off and they manage to escape. Meanwhile, Mitsu runs in the other direction because she starts feeling that something's really wrong here. When she looks at herself in another mirror ahead, she sees that she's changed again. The race is happening right where Mitsuko is standing, and then some girls come up to her and say, "You're such a great racer. Why are you just standing there? Why aren't you running?" When she starts running, she feels a surge of energy within herself. After that, Mitsuko tries her best to win the race. While running, she even sees her dead friends, who had been killed at her school some time ago, when suddenly, right then, her best friend shows up too. That's when both of them notice that the same pig and those women who were stopping them at the church are all coming their way. While running away, some girls tell Mitsuko to get out of this world. After that, we see Mitsuko running and ending up in a deserted, dark place. There, she sees some students wearing uniforms. All those girls tell Mitsuko that they're all dead and they're going to kill her too. But then, Mitsuko's best friend begins. She arrives there, kills that girl, and escapes with Mitsuko. Mitsuko's best friend tells her to shout her name loudly, so Mitsuko starts calling her name out loud. At that moment, Mitsuko returns to her true form. Her best friend shows her hand and asks her to please pull out the wire attached to it so she can leave this world. But Mitsuko is also scared that pulling the wire might kill her. Because Mitsuko cares deeply for her best friend. She loved him so much that she didn't want to do this. But when he forced her too much, she pulled his wires. As soon as she pulled the wires, her best friend's body split into two parts. At that moment, she noticed a gate. When she stepped out of that door, she saw that she had now entered the world of humans. Her posters were also displayed there. Seeing one of the posters, some boys were looking at it. Then one boy came up to Mitsuko and said, "You are in the future." Upon hearing this, she fainted. After some time, when she regained consciousness, upon hearing this, she fainted. As she moves forward, she sees an old man playing a game. And in that game, Mitsuko appears as the very character she has just become. The moment the old man sees Mitsuko, he starts saying, "I am the one who created this game, and I am the one controlling all of you. You had actually died a long time ago, but I took your DNA and recreated you." When Mitsuko hears this, she realizes that this is all part of a game, and she begins to think that maybe she can still return to her own world. Just then, A man approaches and grabs Mitsuko. As he tries to pull her closer, the old man tells Mitsuko that she must complete her final level. She starts moving forward, but then she remembers something her friend had once told her. If they do something in this world that would be impossible in the other world, she could escape the game. With this thought, she grabs the man by the throat and says, "Stop playing with us." Then Mitsuko takes the old man's staff and stabs it into his stomach, killing him. At this moment, we see that the old man never even imagined. He could never have imagined that Mitsuko was capable of doing something like this. With that, his destiny changes completely. She had died in this world, that is, in the game, but in the real world, she was still alive. We also see that the rest of Mitsuko's characters, for one reason or another, end up killing themselves and they are no longer part of the game. In the next scene, Mitsuko is shown lying in a snowy place. She is now returned to her real world. With this, the mind-bending story comes to an end. If you want to watch more movies explained like this, don't forget to type next in the comments. Thanks for watching.